what would you say to them? They're like, oh, I can never do what Arsh does. There's no way because I'm too busy or because of insert whatever excuses. What would you say based on your own journey?
I would just say it's easier than one thinks. Whether it's writing an audiobook or starting a YouTube channel or podcast or anything, like it really is easier than you think. The hardest part is actually doing it, starting to do it. Like once you get to the gym, you'll enjoy the gym. I'm sure we've heard that many times, right? Like it's the hardest part of going to the gym is getting there, getting yourself up. And I love to work out, and it still happens where I'm like laying in bed and I'm so convinced. I'm so convinced today's a rest day. My body's telling me today's a rest day. I don't want to get up. There's no way I have the energy to work out. There's no way I can do it justice. I get to the gym and I have one of the best workouts. Like I just feel so good doing it. I feel like, oh, it's easier to just do it than think about doing it. So I'd say if you feel like you could never do something, you have to realize if somebody else is doing it, then you can do it. Like, granted, you can't do certain things if you have limitations physically, and there are nuances to this. Like, it's not like you can do everything. I can't go be LeBron James. Everybody's favorite line to insert when they're talking about doing stuff is like acknowledging their own limitations to say you can do everything, but you can't do what you're limited, physically by or whatever. That's true, but I can feel like LeBron James. Like I can feel like him. What's stopping me from feeling like him? What's stopping me from doing what I want to do and feeling like him? But what is that concept? You know what I mean? So like you can do it, but don't do it relative to somebody else. Do it relative to yourself. And that's kind of hard to do in this day and age, right? With Instagram and everything. You're constantly seeing other people, other podcasts that are bigger, other podcasts that have a better, setup, backdrop, lighting, better guests, bigger production budget, better numbers. Like, okay, I'm still doing it. I still enjoy it. So it's like, just do it for what you want to do it for.
Yeah, it's like a full circle since we started this conversation like an hour and a half ago about validation and the need to validate. But a lot of times, like that's part of the nature. I know you posted a Instagram story asking about what do you think about people incessantly post about their flexing or their topless, shirtless pictures, right? About like why is that? Like why do people want to post so much about them working out or so much about their physique?
I think somebody tagged me in that. And there's a guest I had on my show where we kind of touched on it. And so they tagged me in a post or a story where it's like psychologists say that people that post about working out are inherently narcissistic or something. And I just reposted it and I'm like, I would love to hear some thoughts because I didn't necessarily agree with that. Like, I think we're all narcissistic. I think it's good to be narcissistic to a certain extent. Like, let me paint that a little bit better. There are some elements of narcissism that can be beneficial, but not all of them, right? Like I don't even think I know the definition that well enough to speak on it, but the point I'm getting at is like obsessing over yourself with the lens of progression is not necessarily bad. That's what I mean by narcissistic. But yeah, if somebody wants to post their workouts, that's cool. Like I don't care if you want to post your workout. I just think it's a little weird when you categorize it as I'm just trying to motivate people or I'm trying to inspire people. I think that is weird because nobody's really asking for that. Like you do it because you like the way it feels. You like the validation that comes with showing how hard you work. I've seen people be borderline condescending when they post workout stuff, where it's like they'll post like running like 6 miles and then the next story is if you wanted to, you would have. There are no excuses. And then the next post is them in an ice bath. And then the next story is like them eating a fit meal food kit that their friend, owns. And like, they're like, this is the best stuff I've ever had. And then it's like, I understand that's your life. But when those same people are around people that don't want to do that and don't have the same energy, that's what I have a problem with. If I love to work out, and hypothetically speaking, you don't, even though you obviously do. If you don't love to work out and I love to work out, and then I'm around you and I look at you as a piece of shit, or I'm like, oh, I could never be this guy. Look at me, man. I work out. I take ice baths. I'm the epitome of having hacked the perfect morning routine. Like, dude, my morning routine's way better than yours. I'm way more productive. Like, my time blocks are way better scheduled. Like, when you get into that kind of thinking, and I'm like, what is that? What are we doing? We're all human beings. We all make decisions. We all want to do different things. You can, and like the whole concept of a tribe, like I found my tribe, that basically means you don't fuck with anybody else outside of this. Like, you only value and respect humans that are in this tribe, in air quotes. Or you value and respect people that share enough similarities or have enough overlap. But everybody else you view below yourself. Like, if I see somebody who doesn't work out, in my head I'm convinced I'm higher on the hierarchy than them. Granted, there are many benefits of working out, but this can apply to anything else, right? Like, working out is kind of a binary thing, because if you don't work out, then you're literally killing yourself. But if you do work out, you are technically more healthy. But still, if you look at it from any other lens, it's like, I don't value this person. I don't respect this person. They could have a better life than you. They could be way more happy than you. They could live longer than you. Like, they could have a way better existence than you. They could have a better perspective than you, where they don't try to shit on you or minimize you. So that's what, like, the working out stories, that's the tangent that I go into when I think about somebody posting constantly. I rather just work out and reap the benefits for myself, you know?
Yeah, a lot of people use on social media like, oh, what's the point of owning a Ferrari if you don't showcase it, right? That's some of the lens I do, is because I don't do it anymore, but I used to post because you want to showcase your progression without any motivational quotes. I like looking at myself sometimes, you know?